Imagine a place in your mind, feel the vertigo. Standing next to angels, maybe devils wearing halos. You can be anything, your mind can take you around the globe. This world is yours, it's Urban Fiction News Radio.
Hello, everyone. This is Casey Baylor with Urban Fiction News Radio. As always, we have a great topic and an even better guest. Tonight, we're going to be discussing effective marketing strategies for your urban fiction books. I want to start by saying some of the more popular strategies I'm noticing urban fiction authors using is a lot of Facebook promotion in the various book clubs on the site. Now, I think it's a great way to gain visibility for your work, but it should not be the only thing you're doing to promote yourself. The primary reason is because there is an untapped market. Facebook is a social site. A lot of times people will come in and they are looking to be social. That's why the book clubs are out there, but it's so polluted with so many other, and saturated, with so many other writers who are doing the same thing. So by the time you can get your book cover up, tell people to one-click it, somebody else, 10, people come right in right after you that quick, and they can basically push your book down the bottom of that poll. So then you are not seen as quickly as the person who's on the top. So that's something I would definitely say. It's a good method, but it should not be the only thing that you're trying. I also think I came up with a few ideas that I think are great tools to gain readers and attention for your fiction. One of those things is take advantage of Amazon's free promotional days. A lot of people are afraid, of giving their book away for free. And here's why that is a very closed-minded thing to do. You're saving a few dollars by, making sure everybody pays for it. And that is the ultimate goal of what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell your book. However, by not giving out samples, you're closing yourself off to the potential of people who are not necessarily willing to take a chance on a new author. They'd much rather just stick with the people that they have currently read. But it doesn't hurt to give your book away as a promotional offer to readers. It actually does the opposite. It gets your book more exposure if it's done correctly. And the reason I'm saying that is because a person who is not familiar with your work, they may be willing to give you a try, especially if you have a hot book cover. They may be more willing to try and test your stuff out because it's free during that free period. And another benefit of them doing that is, if they leave a review. A lot of people don't realize the power of a book review. People they purchase their books based off of what other people are saying. So you have to be able to hone in the power of a book review, the power of word of mouth. Now, in saying that, if they do purchase or download your free book, the benefit, the beautiful thing is that you will be able to, if they do leave a review, it'll come up as an Amazon verified purchase, which means it doesn't look like one of your friends did it. So that's kind of important. Now, also, the Internet has tons of free ebook sites that allow you to list your free ebook during that period that it's free on the Amazon. By that alone, if you can collect up enough of those sites and you post it on different sites stating that your book is going to be free during that period, you might potentially be able to hit the Amazon bestsellers list in the free section. How does that help you? Well, obviously it helps because Amazon puts its own, it basically activates Amazon. It activates it by once you hit the bestsellers list, Amazon will start promoting that book to anybody who's bought a book in your particular category. So that, obviously, that's a huge, huge potential to make more sales, especially when it comes off of that free promotional period. Another thing that will basically kind of help you out, too, start thinking about ways that you can promote your book covers. Getting people to see your book covers on a repeated basis will kind of, it's like branding. It's branding, meaning a brand is something you've seen. You've seen a company's logo so many times, or you've seen their product so many times that you're able to recognize where it comes from, and you start to trust it because you've seen it so much. When people see your book covers and they see them on multiple sites outside of Facebook, it's a better opportunity for them to feel more comfortable with clicking that button, purchasing. So start placing ads. And there are a few places like AALBC, even Urban Fiction News magazine, you're able to place, a very low-cost advertisement up of your book cover, and it, allows the reader to click back to your Amazon page from that article. So consider that as something else that you should do as well. What I'm going to do now, because I am excited about tonight's guest, when we come back on the line, we are going to be talking to some very special ladies who have come up with their own method of. We are back, and I have the beautiful ladies of Book Tour Divas, and I'm sorry, you know what? Let me say it again. Book Divas on Tour, and excuse me, ladies, for that. I have the beautiful B. Swangen. I have B. Lawrence. Hello. Hi, and I also have K.R. Ray. And
hello.
I would love for you guys. Hello. I would love for you guys to introduce yourselves. Let us know what you do. We're talking today about, effective marketing. And I think what you guys do is pretty great. So if you could just introduce yourselves and let us know what you do.
Sandra, you can go ahead.
Okay. I am B. Swangen Webster. I am an author, and I'm also marketing director for Intrigue Publishing. And I am currently working on a murder mystery called The Stiletto Stalker, and I'm releasing an urban drama entitled Let Me Just Say This.
Oh, okay. Next up.
Go ahead, Dee.
Okay. Okay, so I'm Dee Lawrence, and I am a fiction author as well. And I'm currently working on the sequel to Gotta Let It Go, which is a romantic suspense novel that's set in Baltimore. And I also work with Sandra on the Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity conference that's upcoming in October of this year, and I'm the author panel coordinator for that conference.
Okay.
And I'm K.R. Ray. I actually just released my third novel, finished up the Colors trilogy. All three books are new adult books, contemporary novels, and I'm actually starting on a totally new trilogy that has to do with young adult sci-fi.
Oh, wow. So we have a very, it's like a collective set of authors, but you guys all write about different topics, I think, which is pretty cool as well. Can you let us know how you guys came about? How did you become Book Divas on Tour? How did that whole thing come about?
So what we'll do here, I'll just jump in. Sandra, you can start, and then I'll just take it, and then we just go in a circle.
When my voice starts leaving, then just somebody else jump in.
For you. Okay.
But we came together because I was at KRA's book launch last summer, and we were talking about how similar our subject matter in our book was. And we decided, we jokingly, we said, you know what, we should go out on tour together. And after we stood there for a while and talked about it, we figured that was going to be a good idea because we didn't really want to just go out and just market like buy my book, but we wanted to go out so that people could see us, meet us, hang out with us, and get to know us before we hit them with and you can also buy our book.
Right.
It was only logical that we chose Dee to come along with us because the three of us, whenever we get together, is like we're three high school best friends hanging out, giggling, having a good time. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that we're all fierce divas.
There you go.
That definitely doesn't hurt. That actually enhances it. It gives you a little edge, Okay, so you guys basically, you go on tour, and then when you go on tour, like you just stated, you don't necessarily go with the intention of saying, here, buy my book. It's kind of just like, here, this is who we are, hang out with us, and then just so happen we also are great writers as well. So I think that's a really good concept, actually, and a lot of people don't think, are you guys connected with, like, a publisher, or did you self-publish?
So we each kind of went different ways. So this is KR. I actually went with a small independent publisher up in Delaware, and Sandra, well, I'll let Sandra go ahead, and Dee, go ahead.
Yeah, I am published. I was published through a small press in Frederick, Maryland at first, and then I got picked up by a small press in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. But Dee, she went a totally different route.
Yeah, I went through, because I couldn't wait for folks to validate, my stuff. I had beta readers, and they said, well, this is very good. So instead of waiting the traditional way and, getting 150 rejection letters, I just stepped out on faith, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to do this on my own, and if I fall flat on my face, then so be it. But I'm definitely not going to wait for folks to say, you know what, send us the first 50 pages. You know what, let's wait another year, and, we'll put your book out. So I ended up going with Ex Libris, and that way it gave me creative control. I had someone design my own cover. I worked closely with that person, and so I enjoy having that creative control over my work, and so that's the route that I took.
You know what, and just in saying that, I'm one of these people who this is one of my mantras, and I say it all the time. I hate working for people, and that falls over into my writing as well. I originally kind of went the same route as you by self-publishing, and then I wound up signing my book over to a publisher later. But that being said, I think when it comes to marketing, and would you ladies agree, when it comes to marketing your work, do you think a lot of people are, or a lot of our people, so to speak, are they're kind of stagnant in the way they think marketing should be, and they kind of follow this same one-way, one-track mind, so to speak? Because I'm noticing Facebook is the hottest promotional route, but it's so hot that it's so congested at the same time. Would you say that's what you guys have?
I would definitely agree. And Sandra, you know me. I'm rarely on. Every now and then I'll be on Facebook.
Right.
And folks get on me. I mean, I do have a page. Every now and then, I only post when it's relevant for me. I am not constantly out there because I don't own any real estate on Facebook like some folks, and I'm not knocking that, but I just don't have the time and energy with so many of the things that are pulling in my direction. So I have to focus where it's necessary, and I do a monthly newsletter to reach my folks, and I have links to my website and so on, but. Not that I'm leaving all of that, but you're right. Facebook is the hottest thing, but it's like, how do you set yourself apart from everybody else who is like jumping on there and say, see me, look at me, look at me. So you have to do something a little bit different.
Right.
I think what we have here, the three of us, the Book Divas on tour, this is something fresh.
Right.
And I'm sure other folks will be jumping on that at some point, but we're stepping out in faith. We're not solely staying here in Maryland. We're doing going out of state. We're doing book fairs. We're doing conferences. Businesses are hosting us. So, I think what we have is definitely something that's groundbreaking. Maybe it's happening elsewhere, but not that I know of locally here in the DMV area.
Okay. Well, someone else going to say something?
I've seen other authors that will get together and go to a conference together, but they're not promoting each other. They're just going because they're all going to the same place, and then they're all just working to promote themselves. What we are doing is we're actually promoting each other. So if we're at an event, that crowd might not be an urban fiction crowd, but it might be more of a new adult crowd, which would then gear us more toward KR, or they may be into romantic suspense more, which would then turn it more into a D. Lawrence type of event, or it might be, people that want to read the urban fiction, then, it would be geared toward me. But the three of us, we actively go out and we promote each other, and you don't see that with other authors, because other authors, they seem to look at it as a competition amongst each other, and that's not how we do it. We are actively, if one of us does well, all of us does well.
Exactly.
Well, and that should be the approach. And I, even with my magazine, Urban Fiction News, that was born from the idea that a lot of authors first of all, they're walking around blind because they don't know. It's like, I know I need something, but I just don't know what it is, So because of that, I said to myself, I would be the person who would, I'll sacrifice myself. And when I say sacrifice, because it takes lots of hours to come up and compile information for people. It really does. And when you do that, you're giving it to people, and you're saying, well, here go the steps that you need. And I'm willing to also come out and promote your stuff as well. I'm willing to come out and say, but my need originally came from me wanting to promote myself. But the fastest way to gain exposure is literally by helping other people. And a lot of people don't recognize that concept.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And ladies, hold on. We actually have a caller on the line, so let me tap into them. Mr. I'm sorry. Telephone number, 937. Let's see what we can do for you today. Hello?
Hello. Hey, this is Author Shantae Kennedy. How y'all doing tonight?
Good. How are you? Oh, good.
I'm listening to the show. I love it. I love women doing everything together. And so I'm really getting inspired over here. But I have a key question for you ladies. I would like to know, how would you market an author that's doing, like, life in a penitentiary? That's, like, my key question, like, because the streets will buy his books, but at the end of the day, we still have to get the e-book sales up. So how would you go about marketing something like that?
Well, first you have to know who your audience is. Like, if you say that only the first thing in any good marketing plan is you have to know who is going to read your book. Is your book only street lit, or does it hit onto other, can it be an inspirational story to somebody else? You have to pick the genre that you want your book to go in. Now, if it's going to be multi-genre related, then you can go across the board. But before you start anything, you have to know who your audience is. And because the three of us knew exactly who our audience was, we knew, like I knew that I didn't have a young adult audience, but I know now with KR being on tour with me, I know now how to, market myself toward a younger adult audience. Or because I don't write romantic suspense, I know now what Dee does in response to her audience. So you literally have to look at who is reading your book, and you have to get feedback. And you can't just use Facebook or Twitter. You have to literally talk to folks. Like, what do you like? What do you don't like? What is it that you want to see? And from there, that's how you gain who your audience is.
Exactly.
Shantae, we want to thank you. Really quick before we go, I would like to have you guys let the people know where you can be reached before the end of the show, because we're coming to an end. But if you could just let them know what they can do to reach out to you.
Well, definitely. The first place would be Facebook, Book Divas on Tour. And you can go on there. We post information, and just give us a like, and give us a shout-out, and, we'll hit you back. So that's the first place. And, we all have different websites. Mine is therightpen.webs.com, and you guys can chime in.
Mine's KRAye. That's KRRAYE.com.
And for me, it's B. Swangin Webster, which is it. Well, if you just type in B. Swangin, SWANGIN, you'll find me, because my family is the only swangin on Facebook, so you will find me if you type that in.
Well, and also, everybody, I want to thank everybody for, I actually have another caller, but I'm sorry we can't get to you tonight. However, if anybody is interested in being on Urban Fiction News Radio or even checking me out on Urban Fiction News Magazine, you can go to www.urbanfictionnews.com. And I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. It's been my pleasure. Hopefully we can have you again really soon. And I'm also looking I'm looking forward to featuring you guys on Urban Fiction News Magazine as well, so you guys can check them out on there also. Have a good night, ladies.
We look forward to it. We look forward to that, too. And if anybody had any questions, they can post it onto our Facebook page, and one of us will be on there to answer them.
Great. Thank you so much for having us.
No problem. Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.